engine started. Dragon engine started. Go for launch.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
Stage 1 propulsion nominal.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
And there is successful liftoff of Falcon 9, carrying our 18th
telemetry
resupply
nominal.
mission on a Dragon spacecraft to the International Space Station. Now we're currently in what we call the throttle bucket, and that's because in about 30 seconds we have an event called maximum dynamic pressure, or max Q. That's the point where the vehicle
Vehicle is
experiences
supersonic.
the highest aerodynamic stresses. So what we do is we bring down the engines a little bit, pass through that point, and then throttle back up once the atmosphere continues to drop off above that point.
Vehicle is experiencing maximum aerodynamic pressure.
So now we're through that point of
Back engine
maximum
kill.
dynamic pressure. Now coming up are a series of rapid events, main engine cutoff, then stage separation, followed by second engine start of the second stage's Merlin vacuum engine, and then the first stage is going to conduct a boost back burn, followed by a Dragon nose cone deploy. Now, main engine cutoff, or MECO, is where all 9 Merlin 1D engines on the first stage will shut down. Followed shortly after that is stage separation, and then a few seconds later, the Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage will ignite to boost Dragon into low Earth orbit. In fact, during ascent, you heard the call out for engine chill-in of that Merlin vacuum engine. So again, coming up in about 10 seconds, MECO, stage separation, second engine start, and then stage 1 boost back burn.
Eco.
Stage separation confirmed.
And back ignition. Stage 1 boost back started.
And you can hear the cheers behind me. You're looking at a successful start of the Merlin vacuum engine on your right screen and the boost back maneuver on your left-hand screen of the first stage. Shortly here, we should have nose cone deploy off of Dragon, and we may be able to see that on the right-hand screen. And there goes the nose cone on that right-hand screen. We no longer need it now that we're out of the densest parts of the Earth's atmosphere.
Stage 1 boost back shutdown.
Both vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
So in order to make its way back to landing zone 1, the Falcon 9's first stage is going to execute a series of 3 burns. The first of which is the boost back burn. We've just seen that shut
Acquisition
down.
signal Bermuda.
It's meant to slow the rocket down and orient it for re-entry. It also helps Falcon 9 laterally return to the landing zone. Liftoff was only a few minutes ago, but we traveled a significant distance horizontally that we want to recoup. Shortly after that first burn initiated, you see some of our titanium grid fins. There's 4 of them that are located near the top of the first stage. They're deployed at this time and help guide the rocket during descent once the atmosphere is thicker. Now, following that boost back burn, our second burn is executed. It's our entry burn. It's coming up in about 2.5 minutes. It helps the vehicle slow itself down before hitting the dense part of the atmosphere. Failing to perform this burn would put unnecessary strain on the Falcon 9. And lastly, our third burn, the landing burn, happens just before touchdown and takes the booster down softly to land, and our 4 landing legs also deploy during this final burn. For those of you just joining, it's T plus 4 minutes, 55 seconds, and you can see our second stage on its way to drop off Dragon to its targeted orbit on the way to the International Space Station, and on the left-hand side here you see our Falcon 9 first stage on its way to Cape Canaveral, Florida, landing zone 1 for successful landing. Our first stage had an on-time launch at 6:01 p.m. Eastern Standard
Both
Time
vehicles
just a few
continue
minutes
to follow
ago.
nominal trajectories.
We had a nominal ascent and ideal stage separation. We've just performed the first of 3 burns of the first stage, the boost back burn, and we're a little more than a minute away from that second burn, the entry burn. And so you see the second stage of the engine is still burning bright, but on the first stage we've used most of our fuel during the liftoff, and we only have so much RP1 and liquid oxygen to make those 3 burns. So instead of firing all 9 Merlin 1D engines, we're only going to fire 3 of those for the boost back burn and entry burn, the center Merlin engine and the 2 perimeter engines. We're just about 20 seconds away from that entry burn beginning, and it'll last about 30 seconds all the way to T plus 7 minutes.
Stage 1 entry burn started.
We've heard the call out, you can see it visually. Our second entry burn has begun and will last for just a few more seconds.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
2 burns down, 1 to go. The landing burn is our
Both
last
vehicles
burn.
continue to follow nominal trajectories.
It'll occur in about 30 seconds, and it lasts for about 30 seconds all the way until landing.
FTS is saved.
You can see Cape Canaveral coming into view. In terms of fuel conservation, we only fire 1 Merlin engine on this final burn. Engine number 9, the center engine.
Stage 1 entry transonic. Stage 1 landing burn started.
Our landing burn has begun.
Stage 2 has entered terminal guidance.
You see the landing legs are deploying.
Falcon 9 has landed, running operation secure land at 100.
And the Falcon has landed. Congratulations to everyone here at SpaceX for another successful landing. For those of you keeping score, this is our 44th successful first stage recovery. This is our secondary mission at SpaceX. It's our commitment to vehicle reusability. Back to our primary mission.
So back to our primary mission.
Nominal orbital insertion.
We just had secondary engine cut off, and you just heard the call out for a good orbit. That's fantastic. That means that Dragon and the second stage are in low Earth orbit around the Earth. Now, the second stage does have one last major task for today's mission, and that's commanding separation of the Dragon spacecraft very shortly from now. We should have video of Dragon separation from the top of the second stage. And that's what we're looking at the moment. Okay, so shortly here, and now that camera view at the top of the second stage that looks into Dragon's unpressurized cargo portion. There you can see it.
Dragon separation confirmed.
Acquisition of signal, Newfoundland.
You can hear the
This
cheers
is
behind
Dragon
me.
CC on countdown 1. Dragon senses separation.
Off Dragon goes
Thanks
for
for the
its
ride.
mission to the International Space Station. The Dragon team doing a little handoff with Falcon there.